In today's video, we are drawing a gumball machine. I'm going to show you how to color your gumballs with a shading technique to help bring some dimension to them and make them look rounded. And I'm also going to show you another technique to add shadows to your work to help bring in some dimension. So we're going to do this gumball machine, and it was actually inspired by an artist named Thiebaud. He painted a lot of cakes and pies and all kinds of desserts and pastries and candy, and he's known for using a lot of thick brush strokes on his work. So he brings so much inspiration to our work today. This is one of his pieces titled Three Machines. So we're going to focus on one of these gumball machines, and we're going to look at all the lines in there, the curves, the shapes, and we're going to draw our own machine. So get your stuff ready and join me in drawing a gumball machine today.
We need a marker and a piece of paper and then some colored pencils once we get to the coloring stage of our machine. So to begin, we're going to use our marker and we're going to look at Thiebaud's, one of his machines from his painting titled Three Machines. So what I like to do is look at the lines and shapes of what I'm drawing. And another thing I like to do is flip the image upside down to help me really look at the shapes instead of seeing this as just a gumball machine. So I looked for the straight lines and I looked for curved lines, and it just helps me train my eye to break it down into pieces when I'm drawing. So we're going to begin at the top of our paper, and we're going to begin with this curved line from the machine. So we're going to draw one curved line almost right in the center of our paper. And then on either side of this curved line, we're going to do another small curved line coming in. And then we're going to connect these two lines with a curved line. And now along either side, we're going to draw a straight line on both sides. And then we're going to draw another curved line. But this time we're going to stop toward the middle and we're going to dip down and draw another curved line and then finish up coming over to the other side. Now right along the inside, I'm coming in from the edge just a bit, and we're going to draw another straight line and another straight line. And then we're going to connect those two straight lines with a curved line. And then at the edge of each, we're going to do a small curved line coming in and connect those with a curved line. And then again, we're going to draw another curved line on either side and connect those with a curved line. And then one more time, two small curved lines on either side and connect those with a curved line. Now before we get to this area up here, let's come back down in here and finish this off. So right here where we dip down almost like an upside down U, we're going to draw an oval within that line. And you can color it in with your marker, or you can wait to color it in until we get to the colored pencil stage. So we're going to color that in, and then right above this oval, or actually below this oval, we're going to draw a curved line right around it. And then where we left off on either side, we're going to draw a straight line. And then at the end, we're going to bring that line up almost touching this, but leaving just a little bit of space. And then we're going to bring our line toward the center. And then we're going to draw a curved line coming up and back down to connect those. And now that we have this part finished, we're going to come up, and now we need a big curved line, almost like a circle. We're going to come all the way around and connect it on the other side. And so now that we have the outline of our gumball machine, we can flip it around. I'm going to flip around our inspiration too. So now that we have our gumball machine, right now it looks like it is floating on my paper, and it's also missing some gumballs. So before we get to the gumballs, we're going to draw a horizon line. So our horizon line is what separates our sky from the ground. So in this case, maybe your gumball machine is sitting on a shelf or a table. Your ground would be your table, and then the top part would be your background, whether it's wallpaper or the sky. We're going to draw a horizon line about midway down your paper. So on both sides, you're just going to draw a horizontal line on either side of your machine. And then I'm going to pretend that mine is sitting on a table and that you can see the front of a table. So below my machine, I'm just going to draw a horizontal line from one edge to the other, and then another horizontal from one edge to the other. So now that our gumball machine is sitting on something, we're going to come to the inside and make our gumballs. So to start, I want you to draw about 5 or 6 circular shapes that represent gumballs. And yours can be any size. So maybe you have mini gumballs, or maybe you've got a regular size gumball, or maybe yours are huge gumballs like the Jawbreaker size. Now as you're drawing your gumballs, make sure you stay toward the bottom of your machine so that you can work your way toward the top if you want to completely fill it. So get about 5 or 6 full circles in there. And now we're going to add in more gumballs, but this time we are going to have some of our gumballs behind others. So to do this, we start at an edge of one of our gumballs and draw a circle all the way around until we meet up with another gumball. Then pick up your marker and continue your shape, but above the paper. So let's do that together. Start on the edge of a gumball and start drawing your curved line as your circle, and then keep going until you reach the edge of your gumball machine or a gumball. Pick up your marker, continue your shape, and then bring your marker back down once you are inside the machine. Let's do that again. Start at the edge of a gumball machine, start your circle until you run into another gumball. Pick up your marker, keep going like you're still drawing a circle, and then put your marker back down once you're over that gumball. So now we're getting some gumballs that look like they are behind other gumballs. So we're getting partial gumballs. So pick another circle on your gumball, put your marker down, and begin to draw a circle. And come all the way around until you run into your gumball again, and pick up your marker and pretend to finish it. Start on the edge of a gumball, draw a circle around until you reach the gumball and pick it back up. So go ahead and just continue drawing these curved lines to represent your gumball. And once you run into another gumball, pick up your marker and keep going. I am going to speed this up a little bit. You finish your gumballs, you can keep them toward the bottom, or you can work your way all the way to the top. That is totally up to you. Okay, so once you have all of your gumballs finished, we're going to begin to add some color. So you can close up your marker, and then we're going to begin with the base of our machine. So I'm going to use red for this. A lot of gumballs I've seen are red, but you can really use any color. This is your art, your imagination, whatever color you'd like to start with. So we're going to begin down in this open area here. So I want you to just, using your colored pencil, go through that entire space and fill it in one solid color. Just make it an even color all the way through. And then we're going to go back in and add in some shading. Thiebaud has a lot of shading in his work. He's got a lot of vibrant colors that he used. And so we're going to add in some shading to represent what he did. Okay, so now that we have a solid color through this portion, we're going to add in some shading. So if our light, whether it's sunlight, a flashlight, a lamp, light coming in through your window, if it's coming in through this side, what do you think is going to be the color on this side of our machine? You think it's going to be lighter or darker? Well, if you said darker, you're right. So because the light is not shining directly on this part, it's going to be a little bit darker. And you can see that if you look closely on Wayne Thiebaud's drawing over here. This side is a lot darker than over here. So on our right side of the paper, we're going to use the same color, and we're going to go through this time pressing harder onto our paper with the pencil to achieve a more deeper color, a bolder color on one side. So begin pressing harder along the edge, and then as you move over towards the center and then towards the left, your pencil pressure is going to get lighter. So it's a gradual blend from this dark color to a lighter color. So I've got dark going to light. And to deepen that up even further, we're going to add in just a little bit of black. So find a black colored pencil. Mine's a little short. We've used this one a lot. You could even use a dark purple or a dark blue or a super dark gray, but come in along the edge and add in your darker color. And I'm just doing some short strokes in here on an angle. And once we add in this black, we're actually going to go back in with red. So a lot of art and coloring, it's a lot of layering, and that's the beauty of it. That's where you get a lot of depth with the color combination. So now once you've got your black in here, if you use red, take red or whatever color you started with, and go back over the black just a little bit. And I'm going on an angle, these short strokes. There. And so now this part is pretty much done. We've got a darker side moving over to the lighter side. So this is our shading over here. And we're actually going to do the same thing in this section up here. So you're going to take your same color. So this is just giving us practice on coloring and practicing adding more to it. So fill in this entire area, leaving this part in here blank. We'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so just as we darkened up this side over here, we're going to darken up this side. So using your base color, press hard with your pencil to the paper. Put it in a nice solid color. You don't really want your white paper to show through at that point. Get a nice darker color, and then as you're moving towards the center, towards the left side, just lighten up your pressure just a bit. And now, once you've got more of a solid color on the right side, go ahead and take your black again. And this time we're going to add in a little bit of a deeper color. And again, I'm going on an angle, these short strokes with my pencil, just up and down along that edge. And now go back in with your red or whatever base color you used and go over the black and move toward the center a little bit. Just going over that color and blending it real well. Okay, so now you can definitely see how we've got a shadow over on this side of our machine. So now we've got these curved lines in here and then this curved line down here and even this section in here. A lot of times those might be silver or white. So what we're going to do is add in some gray. We don't want to leave it plain white. We want to put a little bit of color in there. So along the right side, I want you to use a gray. It could even be a light blue or even a yellow. But we're going to color in some gray. And you'll notice I'm going a little bit darker, and then I'm slowly lightening up. And by the time I get to this side, I am going to hardly have any pressure at all on with my pencil to my paper. It's getting so light that it basically just goes white. So we've got gray over here, and then slowly to white. Now over top of this gray, I'm going to add in a little bit of yellow just for some depth and variation of color. So along the edge and over the gray, I'm just adding just a little bit of yellow. And then I'm going to go back over the yellow with my gray again. And again, I'm lightening up my pressure as I move over. Now what we did here with the gray and the yellow, we're going to do the same thing for this portion and the same thing for these 3 lines in here. So start with your gray in this shape right here, and we're going to go a little darker, and we're slowly going to lift up our pencil so we're going so light to the other side that we basically just stop. So we've got dark gray on the right side, and then little to no gray on the left. And so once you finish with the gray, go back in with the yellow, and just along the edge, maybe in some of these corners on the right side, add in a little bit of yellow. And then once you add the yellow, take the gray pencil again and go back in over the yellow. And then remember, lighten up your pressure as you move over towards the left. So once we've got that finished, now we're going to move up to these 3 areas. And you can kind of color them all at once just because they're all touching. So we've got darker gray along these sides. And just lift your marker up or your colored pencil up over the marker. And then as you move towards the center on the left, remember to lighten up your pencil pressure because you basically want it to turn white as it gets towards our imaginary sun that's over here. So you want to blend that so it all goes in nicely. It's a gradual change. And then once you've got your gray, add in a little bit of yellow. I'm just doing it around the edge, these curved edges right here. Add in a little yellow. And then take your gray again and go over the yellow. So there is the base of our gumball machine. Now we're going to work on our gumballs. So drawing our gumballs, I'm going to show you a little bit of a shading technique so that you can help make your gumballs look rounded, give them a little bit more depth. So choose a color for one of your gumballs. I'm going to go with green here. So choose one of your gumballs, preferably one of the ones where you can see a full circle. Now, when the light is shining in on a gumball, it typically will hit the gumball, and then you'll be left with almost like a white spot, a very, very light spot. So to represent that, we're going to draw an oval toward the top of our gumball, and we're going to color around that oval shape, leaving it the color of your paper. So it should be a white color. And then once it's one solid color, then I want you to come down toward the bottom of your circle. And this is where we're going to begin to shade it. So in a curved motion, you're going to darken that bottom part. So just like we shaded over here and we went from dark to light, you're going to do the same thing, but in a rounded way in your gumball. So we've got dark, dark, dark to light, and then it's white left in that that one spot up there where the light is shining off it. So go through, do a couple more with that color. So draw an oval shape near the top of your circle. Color your circle one solid color. And then along the bottom curve, using a curved motion with your pencil, darken in that bottom shape. I'm going to do another one over here. So I've got an oval. I'm coloring my entire circle around the oval, leaving that white space. And then toward the bottom, I'm in a curved motion. I am darkening that gumball. It's given the effect, it's helping our gumball look rounded. So I'm going to switch out my colors. I'm going to go to orange, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw an oval toward the top, and I'm going to color my gumball all the way in around the oval, and then come back toward the bottom. And I'm in a curved motion. I am darkening that one spot. So go for it. Go color all of those gumballs with various colors, or you could stick with one color if you wanted to. But color in all your gumballs, leaving that light reflection off the top and your deeper color in a curved motion on the bottom to help it look a little more rounded. I'll speed this up and then we'll come back together and we'll finish the background. Okay, so now that we have our gumballs colored, now we're going to work on this bottom portion. And if we look at Wayne Thiebaud's drawings, he's got a lot of vibrant shadows that he has. A lot of these blue, these bright blue colors, so that's where the sun is not shining. So we're going to choose a blue color, and down over on the bottom of your gumball machine, right off the edge, you're going to draw a straight line that kind of angles up just a bit, and then come up right beneath your horizon line, and then right on the edge of your gumball machine you're going to draw a horizontal line coming right off the paper, and then this is going to represent our shadow. So we're going to fill that in with our blue color. So now we have our gumball's shadow off this side. And so now we can think about what color do you want your bottom to be. So mine is sitting on a table. What color do I want my table to be? Or maybe yours is on a shelf, or maybe it's on the sidewalk, or wherever you'd like it to be. Think about what color you want your item to be. So I'm going to choose a very, very light blue, and I'm just going to go through and I'm going to color this entire space with this light color. Okay, so now my table is full of color, and we're going to look up toward the top. So we've got our background, and then we also have left our gumball machine, so this glass area. So glass typically lets off maybe a blue color, or sometimes a green color, or even sometimes a pink color. So choose one of those colors, blue, green, pink, but a very light shade of those colors. And then along this edge of our gumball machine, I want you to color in along the edge, and you can press fairly hard on this side. This side's going to be a little bit darker than this side. So just as we did with our base, we're going to start dark, and then we're slowly going to lighten up our color so that we barely have any color once we get to the left side. So I'm beginning to lighten up my pencil. I'm not pressing very hard. And so I want it to change to white by the time my pencil lands on this left side. So I've got a darker blue. I'm kind of going in this curved motion, and I'm lightening up as I move toward the center and then the left of my paper. So that is the glass portion, and you may have just a small portion of glass because your gumball is filled all the way up, or you've got a larger section of glass because your gumball machine is dwindling with gumballs. Okay, so now we've got the background. So where is your gumball machine sitting? Is it inside? Is it outside? So I'm going, because mine's on a table, I'm going to say that mine's inside. So this would be wall space behind me. So just think about what color you want that to be, or if you want to draw something behind there. But I'm going to choose yellow, and along the edge where the wall meets my table, I'm going to make this section a little bit darker. So right along the edge of the horizon line, it's going to be a little bit darker. And then this yellow that I'm using, I'm going to lighten it up as I move towards the top of my paper. So this is kind of my guide. This is my base. This is going to be my darkest color. And as I move up, I'm slowly lightening it. I just want this to be a gradual shift from light to dark, but real quick. Now I'm lightening it up. So that is our project for today. I hope you enjoyed the gumball machine. I hope you learned a little bit about Wayne Thiebaud and his vibrancy of colors and his shadows. They're really fun to look at. I would highly encourage you to look him up and look at a lot of his paintings online. They're really, really fun. So hope you enjoyed today, and I'll see you next time.